Good afternoon, Teacher Abby. I'm very happy that you're able to join with me this very important interview. This is one of my requirements for my Foundations of Education.
You're welcome.
So I have some questions for you this afternoon. How long have you been teaching?
Well, I've been teaching in Thailand for the past 8 years. But before that, I was also teaching in my country for about 3 years as well.
Okay, that's great. And what is the greatest or the most rewarding experience being a teacher?
That would be seeing my students grow, seeing them change and develop, and seeing the things that I've taught them that it's benefiting them.
Okay. And what is the hardest thing being a teacher?
The hardest thing about being a teacher would be it's difficult to control children these days. A lot of children aren't disciplined at home, and they don't care. Also, with it being a different language, there's a very big language difference. Some students can understand English, some students can't. And the students that can't understand English don't care, and they don't want to listen.
And what is your teaching philosophy?
My teaching philosophy is to have an open relationship with my students. I think it's important for my students to know that they can always come to me, that I'm always there, and that we learn in a not serious, stressful environment. We learn in a fun, entertaining environment where it's more easy for them.
So you have strong connection, relationship.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I make sure that I have a strong relationship with my students from when they start with me until they finish school. They know that they can always come to me.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Teacher Julien and Teacher Nick. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
How long have you been teaching?
I've been teaching for 2 years now.
And I've been teaching for 6 years already.
What was your greatest or the most rewarding experience being a teacher?
Honestly, it's just having fun every day in class. I think a lot of teachers try and prepare their students for tests, and I like preparing my students for the real world. And the way you do that is by having a relaxed classroom environment every week. So that's what is rewarding for me. It's just having fun with the students.
How about Teacher Julien?
As for me, it would be to witness the evolution of the students from being afraid of talking with the teacher at the beginning, and after 1 year to be able to hold a basic conversation.
And what is the hardest thing about being a teacher?
The hardest thing is just the very sporadic schedule where you don't really know what's happening, and you might have a class get canceled. So for me, that's the hardest thing. Also, sometimes managing some of the students and getting them motivated to want to be involved in your class, but that is on the teacher to make the class interesting for them.
Well, it would be the same thing for me. It's all about the motivation, my own motivation. Sometimes it's difficult to go in the classroom because you know that the students are difficult, and again we have the language barrier, so we cannot share, and it's more difficult. And also making entertaining lesson all the time, so you get their attention and you can really go through the lesson without a problem.
Also getting them to not copy on things and cheat on things.
That's cultural.
What is your teaching philosophy?
My teaching philosophy, really just prepare the students to use English outside of the classroom, right? So any way that we can do that by simulating real world examples and just having a good time, and realizing the things that I use with English on a day in and day out basis, and teaching them how to use those in the right way.
Well, for me, since I'm not fluent in Thai, I think that when teaching, a good example is more valuable than a long explanation where you lost them and you failed in really transmitting something to them. That's it.
Thank you so much.
Cool. Thank you.